round it's moving 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, it does the round angle.
It's flat.
Yes.
It's moving inside.
Exactly. I never thought of
I didn't either.
Now, to really get into it too, you've probably seen these other hammers here. These are called cross beams typically. This is actually a German cross beam, but what the cross beam does, instead of moving it so around, if you drop the ball on a piece of sand, it makes a crater, right? It pushes the material everywhere. Right. That's what you're doing to the steel when you hit it with a round hammer. When you hit it with a wedge, you're only going to move the material in 2 directions. So if you're trying to make something move in 1 or 2 directions, that's what you want to use a cross beam.
Something skinny, making it wider.
Right.
Across it.
Exactly. And I could also get into, there's actually one over here on this side. This is a diagonal cross beam, which is still the same as a regular cross beam hammer, but it's more ergonomic to use. If you picture trying to move something vertically while you're holding it with your set of tongs, it's kind of hard to do, right? So then if you do it with a horizontal one, you're still at 90, but now you have a bit more of a comfortable stance. That makes sense. So now, kind of going off of this step we're going to be doing, with your spike, you kind of want to picture like a midpoint, somewhere in the center between the tip of your knife and the pommel here. When you start to forge, you want that half to be where your handle is, basically. So when you start to forge for this first step, all you want to do is you want to try to make sure that you're not hitting below this line, basically. You only want to hit in this area. Does that make sense? Because all that does, if you do start hitting down to this area, it just makes your handle shorter. That's what you're going to do, basically.
But you're not recommending we actually grab the spike to decide where that line.
I mean, you can. What I always like to tell people after we get the handles twisted is if you want to make sure it's good, you let it get nice and hot, grab it, because then it makes your hand fit the nice line.
Exactly.
Yes, don't touch hot metal. So now, guys, look, you see how orange are starting to get now? Now, how hot do you guys think that forge is? 100 degrees? Close, a little higher. A little higher. A little higher, 2200. A little lower. Right around there, yeah. Between 18 and 2000, probably. Now, when you start to do like forge welding, like when you have to make baskets and stuff, you have to get it around 23 or 2400 degrees.
There's a question that you've got 2000 degrees wrapped in metal. That doesn't change it. It's hot, it doesn't change metal. Is that because it instantly brick all around
the forge itself, you're saying? So yes, the forge is lined, you see that white stuff in there? That's refractory, or sometimes fire brick, that's actually what those ones are there. But yeah, that's what is insulating the forge. It still changes the color just a little bit, but actually most of the color you're seeing is actually the orange glow pieces. But yeah, it's just a different type of material. Ceramics actually glow just like metal does. It's the same color. Alright, cool. So now, looks like they're all pretty high. I'll grab that one that I've just kind of landed across the top here, and I'll show you just kind of what the first step looks like. You can do whatever you feel comfortable with. I'll just use this bit of length here so everyone's got a good view. Grab these, and then what I do for tools. Right there. Oh, thank you.
run backwards.
You're going to find out really quickly that I do not pay attention to where I set myself down. I work in a very small shop, so every time I go to turn around, it's usually at my feet. This is a little bit more spacious.
It's like when you work by yourself. You can do whatever you want. You don't got to watch out for other people.
Yeah, I lean stuff against walls all the time that are barely hanging on. I got tools that are off
I used
balance.
to work in a welding shop. A friend of mine worked right at the glass shields, I worked on each side. It seems like every day I'd go over and talk to the guy next to me. He'd have a bunch of parts laying on his bench.
Yep.
You gotta touch them, man. It's like, touch it. Just because it's not glowing doesn't mean it doesn't melt your hand off.
That's why I said like the tongs needs to get about 800 degrees. I'll show you actually after I get done forging this first demo. I'll pull them off and you'll see how hot it is just from holding it. Alright, so I'll grab the one I've got at the top there and I'll show you what that first step will look like. Like I said, it's going to be the most work we'll be doing today, so just try to keep consistency over power, accuracy, that kind of thing. Just do whatever you feel comfortable with. So I'm going to use the round side of the hammer here, and I'm just going to try to picture starting from the center and working my way up and down, just like this. Now, if you look, you see how it's starting to turn like a dull red color now? It's not as bright as it was before. This is where you can pretty much stop forging if you want to, and you can put it back in the forge. Because right now, what's happening is just that there's not enough heat in it for it to be malleable. It'll still move if you hit it hard enough, but you'll just waste a lot of energy. So what I would do is I just throw this back in the forge. But before I do that, if you guys want, you can use this soapstone. I've got sticks of it over there on the bench. This stuff will mark your steel, and when you put it in the forge and pull it back out, you should still be able to see it. Kind of sticks to it like chalk. But that just gives me a reference for what I'm going to do on the opposite side. Now, if you look, you see how I'm kind of compressing it to one side. Now that I was forging on this top side, it's flatter on the bottom. When I heat it back up again, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to work on that side. So you just want to alternate sides. Does that kind of make sense? That's pretty much it. So that's that. Now feel free to, I don't know, do whatever you like. I'll just throw this back in there. What's that?
Sorry, grab a hold of that one.
Oh,
Just pick it up for me a little bit. Sorry, grab a hold of it.
you can, I'll show you another trick I can do, or what I usually do too. Is if you grab it like this and just bring it over towards the
Ah, okay.
Now you're good. But yeah, if you guys have trouble grabbing it, just bring it past that ledge a little bit and try to do your best. We have got 2 anvils, or 3 actually, so you guys can kind of work wherever. Just try to make sure only one person is at an anvil at a time. Just don't try to work that by side. Oh, and this is the East Coast. Some stones back there, getting that little brown box there, that cardboard box, it's got some pieces in there. Yeah, that's not a big deal. When you start to forge it out, you'll start to see the shape develop. I'll tell you, you'll be able to tell if you can go more or higher. Yeah.
It's gonna go away.
Oh yeah, well, just a little bit of time, that's all. Yeah, no, we almost did like a red light, green light system. Right?
Have you noticed that heavier hammer makes a big difference? Or
It will. A heavier hammer will do the work faster, but you're also gonna get more tired.
Fatigue fast.
Yes. Yep. You'll actually, if you guys ever watched what they call like a striker smith setup before? So what a striker smith setup is where you have a smith who's holding the material and you have a striker who's swinging it.
Okay.
That's actually these big sledgehammers. Or two strikers. Or two strikers, yeah. So back in the day when they made those big broad long swords, that's what they used. They had 4 or 5 guys lined up, all doing the same thing.
You better stay in sync.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of like going on the railroad, you know.
Now you just want the area you're working to be largely fine, ready to be pulled out right now. I don't need the head blowing.
No, you don't need the head. You almost just want that top half of the spike, that first half you're forging. That's really all you want top. There you go, yeah. There you go, yeah. Just like that. Also, hold it straight. There you go. Push down a little bit, kind of like that. Try it. Got another bounce punch. Good, that's better. What's everybody think so far?
Awesome.
Pretty good? Workout, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, once you guys start getting closer to like that 1/4 inch thickness, it'll take a while still, but you won't have to hit as hard when you start to get closer to that 1/4 inch. It'll be a lot easier to move.
Does it also heat up faster?
Yes. Yep. So you'll find that as it gets thinner and wider, it's going to heat up faster, but it's also going to cool down faster too. Exactly. That's the motto. How'd you end up finding this place or hearing about it?
I saw it on Facebook. My cousin had liked it a while back, and I just kept popping up on my feed.
I
And
gotcha.
I scheduled a blacksmithing class with a place down closer to Detroit.
Yep.
But when COVID hit, they said, well, we're not taking any unvaccinated people. So,
I see.
like, well, I gotta get my money back. So, then we went through COVID. I've been thinking about it. And, my wife had scheduled me for another one, but it didn't end up working out. So
I got
was like, let's go.
You made it to one of them, right?
Yeah.
Facebook. Same night. Yeah, I happened to be scrolling through Facebook one day and it popped up. Yeah, I probably broke it down. I was looking for a couple different ones, but after speaking with Bill, talking to her, I don't know how long we're on the phone. I see you guys. I'm like, that's where we're going. I don't know at least. Yeah, there's actually quite a bit. There's actually doing a class in April with a guy here, Adrian, and his name is Garret. He does a lot of really advanced get the bangs, really oriented stuff. I've never made a lot of kids, so I can kind of take the class when it's a whole Saturday, Sunday, or a whole weekend. But man, I've talked to him a few times on the internet, just all follow the same blacksmithing groups or networking groups. I can't remember which side I was on, so you're good either way. Notice the tone also changes. Yeah, so the metal gets hammered down. Yep. A lot of the energy will be transferred usually through the piece into the anvil or into whatever you're striking on. And once it gets cold, it starts to vibrate or reverberate more. I don't know where I set my hammer.
I know there's hammers and tongs everywhere now.
I'll find it later. Notorious for that. Coffee cups, hammers, screwdrivers. It's done to everything. Still a nice looking stuff. Walk in there halfway through about our first hour of class. There's stuff everywhere. See any of this? You find a toolbox, a big snap on it. Toolbox is just gone. Yeah, mine's the coffee cups normally. Coffee cup and a hammer. Those are the two things I'm looking for.
why they make that knob on there for the handle.
What's that?
Now I know why you need to leave that knob on there for the end of the handle. It's infinitely less work.
Yep. Or you just start off with smaller bar stuff too, or flat bars.
So I need to hammer more in there then, correct?
Are you saying because of the thickness or
Yeah.
because of the way it's bent?
Like one side's
Flatter.
yeah.
That's totally fine.
Okay.
What's happening is as you're hitting it, you're forcing
Yeah,
the material.
one way and then the other way.
So you'll find that you want to get, if you look here, see how your tips are close to the bottom corner edge?
Yeah.
What you can do is work just this little section, okay, and not work at the tip as much.
And it'll push it.
It'll make everything consistent. So that's what I would do is for right now anyway, is I would focus on just working in this general area,
Okay.
but also hitting lighter too, because now that it's getting thinner, it's going to get easier to move. So you always get it.
So switch to power.
Or hit it light, or hit it light. You'll probably find it easier to hit it lighter than you do here. But yeah, that's totally nice. I'll show you a trick on how to fix that when we go to twist the handle.
Okay.
You don't have to do that right now, but that's how you're going to fix it.
So which side would I want to hit on?
You would hit the side that is flat. Because you have to push that side up to the
Back
side.
to the center. Got it.
Probably 1 or 2 days. Now, I will tell you another tip. If you get home and you feel like your arm is tight or cramped, all you have to do is just take your hand and go your fingers a little bit. Or just kind of take your wrist around. If you look at my forearm, see where my fingers are actually stressing or stretching it out. Or just drink some Pedialyte that helps. Now, like I said, as you guys get closer to that 1/4 inch thickness, you don't have to hit as hard. Once you feel like you're getting close, let me know. I'll tell you if we need to adjust anything or if you need to change it. There you go. And see how you're getting up and bend into it. That's totally fine. What happens is you're getting just a little more on this side, on this side. You're ready to bend it, but if you want to fix it, you all you have to do is push it back up. You hold it like this. You can
Oh.
tap.
Got it.
Whichever way you want it to bend, it'll bend.
Yeah, pretty much. It's getting closer, but that's probably about 3/8. So you still gotta go through. Oh. That's one thing, good thing about hot steel is that it won't break the glass.
Now I'm getting pretty close. So now this is where I would start to hit lighter at this stage. I'm going to smooth out the surfaces on both sides, and that'll bring me to the other things.
Oh.
Now, if you look to see how you're getting a little bit of a curl to it, what's happening is you're hitting just a little bit more along this end than you are in the center. That's what's causing the curl. Totally fine with it, but if you want to straighten it out, all you have to do is heat it back up. That's how you heat it back straight. It does make little pull shots by the end. Yeah. Well, it's going to be in your handle, so it's not a big deal.
I didn't think it was. So I'm not really for that yet.
It's one solid piece, but because the length of the gear is like that, that's what holds on.
When they force the head, it holds the spike.
Yeah, you can press it.
It's in here somewhere. I thought I could squash it right back in where they went.
Well, if you were to have to do that, you have to get back up to 4 really temperature and then re-close that.
I probably if I cleaned it up, it looks like
There you go. That's good. Yeah, you're starting to get close to that 4 inch thickness. It looks really good up here. It's interesting, yeah, it looks a little thicker right here. So all you really have to do is just press that. Perfect. That's good. We're actually going to be working laid out in steps. It'll bring it probably. So I saw it grab my mic.
Still got a lot of pedals back there.
So if you look how wide this one is, you go to a just part. Then we're going to be hitting on this end, basically. Forcing it, that'll be forcing it. So you just hit on one side of it to get that. You'll have to hit on this side, but you also do the same thing on the opposite. But that's a later step. One end of the motion should probably go in farther than the front of the head. So I use that side, but you can also use down hammer, down the side as well. Use both. You'll find it easier to use the round side. The flat side will forgive it. Like, I'll show you on my piece actually. I've only been using the round side so far. I haven't used the left side yet. And you see how smooth the surface of that is? There's no big dents or divots. You can use the round side to get pretty much 90% of your work
we're done. All the black part is there for us to try and flatten things. That part is still there. Yep. So if you think about it as like an arch, you want to hit the high spot of the arch. Not super hard. Yep. So it kind of gradually gets back down to it. Good. You can actually, if you look too, you can also forge a little bit more in this area. Because it looks good so far, but you'll just get a little bit more length if you start forging in this area to bring that part out. Looks good though. Like. You have to do is you have to work this side to get it pushed all the way flat. Then you have to flip it and then work on it in the center. You have to like drag it off the edge of the anvil while you're tapping on it, so it brings it to the center. It's really tricky, but that's how to do it. So now, if you look, this is sorry about that. If you look, this is about the thickness you want, somewhere around there, or at least close to that. About a 1/4 inch doesn't have to be perfect. But once you get to this, then I'll show you what the next step will be.
still, and then we'll show you what it is. Oh. So who's gonna go fight a bear when they get done with this?
Get into an arm wrestling competition.
I can't believe that became a movie. Cocaine.
Like, are we out of ideas? Cocaine. Like, what can we do to make it work for this?
I'll give props for the courage.
Let's give a bear some cocaine and call him happy.
The crazy part is based on a true story too.
Was it really?
Yeah. Apparently, back like wherever it's based at, a bunch of bears actually broke into the packages and ate cocaine. I did not know that. It didn't go off and kill people like I think the movies say, but there was a bunch of wildlife investigators that had to go through and try to find it. You can also what's happening when you're forging on it, it wants to twist whatever way you're hitting it. It's not going to stay perfectly straight. I could probably do it in about 30 minutes, I think. If I really try to do it. It's a lot of work. I have to use a That's why I use
Use your round size. That way, this is the rest of it.
Yeah, here's that's actually one thing. We can also make it easier too. If you take your tongs and actually hold it to your hip and just move your hip back.
That bump in.
So then it's stable and you're because your hand is kind of clumsy. When you hit something, it's going to vibrate in some way. Connect it to your side. They usually call it like the 3 points of contact. So when you're trying to hammer something, you're going to have your tongs, you're going to be holding your piece, you're going to be pushing into your handle. That's the first point of contact. The second one is to your hip, and that kind of gives you this third. And then for the second and the third point of contact with your hammer. So those are the 3 points of contact. home installation course. Not like with all the home installation, this place would be empty. There you go. Now I'll show you what that next step is. That's about step 5. Step 5. Yeah, mine's a 5. Just a little bit, but we need to keep working that same area so it looks like the tip. I'll show you what the next step looks like. Oh, that's okay. We're not worried about it. All I'm saying, yeah, put a hole in there. So that's all we got. I don't want to get there in this area. Right, you want to keep that active. If you go to the automatically first level, you won't have anything there. So at this point, I'm done. Through this step, yes. So you can go back and forth, and I'll show you that. So everyone's getting really close to that second step up here on this part. Now, like I said, there's an intermediate step before this one, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'll show you what that intermediate step is, and then I'll just leave them up here to show you side by side, and then we'll kind of go over what you'll have to do. Because the next thing, you're going to be forging in a bevel, which will just be the edge that's going to be sharp on that one. So I'll grab mine out, and I'll show you what it'll look like. This part, you'll want to probably use the flat side of your hammer for this part. So not the round side anymore, you'll use the flat side. So what I'm doing is I'm going to hold this. I'm going to have my pommel facing downward, basically like this. I'm going to use the flat side of my hammer, and I'm going to tap it just over the edge of the anvil. I don't want to tap it here. I want to tap it just over the edge. Now, as I tap it over the edge, what it's going to do is it's going to start to bend it downward. And if you look, you see how it's starting to get more of a knife shape? We only want like a 5 to 10 degree bend, nothing more than that. So I'm going to keep going just a bit more. There. That's pretty close. Now what I'll do is I heat this back up again, and then I would start the next step, which is what that beveling process would be. So I'll set this one off to the side for now. But once you get it to that 1/4 inch thickness, that's what you can do now, is you can try to get that little 5 to 10 degree bend. You always want to check while you're doing it to see how far it goes along. You go a little more. Okay, and then the next part is the double backside. We're doing the edge side, not the backside. Yep. We're trying to make our edge that is sharp. We want that to be sharp. That's the spot. I was saying that those were shaped like this. Yeah, you're going to figure out, and I'll show you, it's an interesting trick. So you're thinking that we're forging out this spine to create that curve, right? Yeah. We're doing the opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're spreading the steel out.
What you're doing, yeah, when it starts to forge
inside.
on the edge, what happens is you're pushing that material to the tip. So when you do that, it's going to curl backwards.
Now, for this,
You got it.
Harley, what I'm waiting on this. Okay. If I want to know about here, like, I'm trying to push that metal more, a little more on the top of sideways with the hammer.
You wanted it like really wide?
If you did.
If you did, you'd have to use a cross beam probably. Because that cross beam will move it that way. Yeah, because then you're only moving it in two directions. But that's if you wanted it like that wide.
There you go.
so you don't think that anymore.
No, you only want your edge. There's a measurement you can figure out for like slope and stuff when you're sharpening. But with your blade, you only really want to align whatever number you're going to. With our bevel being about half or a bit here, we pretty much only need it like 1 inch and a quarter inch and a half from it. When you hold it too, you only want that. That's what we're going to be doing now. So I'll actually put this one in the front again. So I'll show you. I lost it somewhere. I always do. But yeah. Keep your bend down. Grab your hammer. You might have to hold it a little bit. You might have to grab it. But now just tap it. Right about there. Yep. You might have to heat up a little bit more. Maybe bend it. You got about 2 to 3. See how much material you're getting out of that spike?
Yeah, I didn't know how long, if I cut the thing, I should have just cut the thing off, it saved me a bunch of freaking pounding. I didn't know how much I have left.
Get your butt practice.
Well, I got giant hands,
Right.
so that little hand.
That was good. So yeah, hopefully you see how I got like that. Really. So you look at it this way. See how I just got that little finger in the center. Try to get it a little bit straighter. That will make it so it will take it, yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as it's pretty
I
good.
have a high spot, take a high spot stuff, set it down. Set it down, okay, put it down on top. Got it. Feet down the side, instead of bring feet down the side.
Yeah, you can throw it back in the corner. I'll show you what that next step is. Well, it's getting pretty close. Yeah, we're just a little thicker still than we are up here. We'll keep going just a bit. Looks good. So with that second step, I'll show you how the season I was working on. I've got to add this one to the storyboard, so I don't want to finish it. But grab that soap again. After you get that little 5 to 10 degree bend, what you're going to do next is you're only going to forge on the side that's going to get sharpened. So pretty much that one side. If you look at this other one here, I can put it in the forge anyway. But what's going to happen is you're going to start hitting right in this area. You want to hit here longer than you do anywhere else. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to push this material out. You're trying to create that little bulge right there. So you'll have to hit here a little longer than you will anywhere else. Does that kind of make sense? You'll be able to see it as you forge it. You'll be able to see that material move. Now you don't want to go super thin. You still want material right there. But you're going to try to get your blade to about an 1/8 of an inch thick. Not a quarter anymore. We're going to make it thinner. We're going to try to go 1/8 of an inch. Or at least somewhere around there. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's what we do. Use the bounce set. Hit a little bit right there. There you go. Yep. See how I started to move this here out? Yeah, now slowly go to the tip. Yep. Try to go straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up. You have to heat it back up again. But now, after you heat it back up, you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Yeah. But you see how that material starts to force it out? I can actually like really accentuate that with this one. If I were to keep doing it. The more you hit along one edge, the more it's going to curve the other edge.
And that's actually what's curving that backside right on too.
Yep. Because what you're doing is you're forcing the material to go up. Now, since you're not hitting on this side, that part stays there. Yeah, it's got to give where or somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's happening. Now flip it over the other side. Hit a little bit lighter. Work your way up to the tip. Now we'll take a look at that. Now you can work on that. Finally, get that Yep, so that's what I was about to mention is if you try hitting more behind the edge, what that'll do. Yeah, that looks good. And you're just trying to get it about an 1/8 of an inch. It doesn't have to be perfect, but somewhere around there. Just make sure it's not super thin. If it gets to like a 1/16 or something less than that, then you'll start running into trouble when we go to sharpen. So try to make sure you have a little material left over there. We can still get it sharp, but it might not look as good as it can, basically, because you might end up with a spot on the blade, which means we have to move your bevel back farther, or your edge farther, to make it shorter. Or when you go to grinding, you might actually burn a hole right through you. No, you're just using the flat side of your hammer. So you're going to hold it over the edge and tap it right about from there, basically. Yep. A little bit harder. Bring this back just a little farther down. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. And you look now. See how we have just like that little degree. You can go a little farther if you want, where you keep it right there. So now you heat it up, and then this is what you'll do. Consider over here. You'll start forging right there. Yep, you're gonna work your way all the way up to the tip. Now, you'll use the round side. Now, what you'll also have to do too, you don't want to hit right on the edge. You want to hit just behind it. So if you're like, I'm gonna hit the edge away from the edge, somewhere around there, and that looks good. Yeah, I'm starting to get thinner a little bit, basically. You can also hit lighter now too. You don't have to hit as hard.
farther, but not much.
That's actually about where you want to keep it.
Now, if I wanted to get more of the radius to the back side here,
So
I
you-
can bring about this way that and do that again.
Or you can also use the horn, so you can hold it this way and tap like that tip downward, and then tap here downward.
And that'll stretch that.
That'll also curve it. Okay. That's another way. Because right now, if you were to do the edge and try to add more curve to that, you'll end up making your edge too thin because there's not that much material.
Not enough material there.
Yeah.
Now we do the shaping of the actual like
Most of it will be yes, yeah. So don't worry if you don't have it perfectly the way you want it.
got it.
Think a lot of things on the railroads like Jagan.
Yeah, there's a lot more about it. You should have listened to that young buck when he told me just to cut that head off. You know how old timers are when they won't freaking listen to nobody.
I learn once in a while.
They know everything. Yeah, I didn't know how far that'd stretch out. I wanted to be on Lando instead of a little short one.
There is actually a formula you can use. So if you have a square piece of material, you should be able to draw out twice of whatever length you have. So if you have a 4-inch piece of half-inch square, you should be able to get 8 inches on it. With pound, I believe it's a third. I think it's a third extra. There's
I
less
think
material
if it was a
around.
half-inch square, you should be able to make it
Is
an
it
inch
your
wide, quarter of an inch thick,
yes?
and twice as long.
I was thinking tapering it down the square cross section the whole way. So going from half-inch square to quarter-inch square,
Right.
you should be able to get double your length whatever you're starting with.
And those look like they're a little more than half-inch. What are they?
5/8,
5/8?
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know how far to draw out. But that's all right. It'll be a big long knife instead.
And you can also cut away whatever excess you
Oh,
have
yeah.
too.
Brian Bunch could probably.
You're just going to be forging a lot more than everybody else is.
Yeah. Should have listened to that young buck when he told me, just cut the head off. Oh, no, that ain't enough.
So once you guys get like that 16 or not 16, 8-inch thickness roughly on your edge, let me know and I'll show you if it looks good or if we can clean something up more, or if you want to clean up your sheet more, I can show you how to do that too.
So just right here, right?
Yeah. So you're going to want to hold that probably more right there, but still tapping on the tip.
Oh,
Okay, there you go. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Just like that. There you go. Now you see how it's starting to twist it a little bit.
Okay, now we move back this way.
But if you look now too, look at your tip. See how it's already got a little more curve to it. When you're trying to curve something, you always want it supported to the closest point that's not curving. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because if you try to curve something that's out here, it's just gonna bend.
Let's get it back. So I start here
And work
and
your way.
slowly work my way in this way. Give it that bend.
Exactly.
That makes sense. 4-inch sheet.
That's it, yeah. There's actually a lot of knife makers that I've met that when they're forging, so if you take a rectangular bar, kind of forge your blade, you'll end up with what's called commission. What it is, it's just a piece of material that comes together in the corner. There's a gap that's in pieces. A lot of knife makers that I see do, they'll actually just take a angle iron or an angle cutting board, just cut 45 and that's it. And they don't even have to worry about
Oh, really?
that looks really good. See how you're starting to get that nice shape to it now? That looks pretty good. But now what you can do, look, you see how I have just that little black offset? You can try to straighten it out. Yes, you'll have to. You'll probably start from the side. You'll tap from here, and then you're going to slowly drag it off the anvil. You go to the tip as you get it. Then you'll have to do the same thing on the opposite side. And you're going to repeat that process until I get to go back to the center.
I do that before I work on the edge.
Or
Am I working on this, or is this done?
that's done. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep. Once we get them all straightened out, then we'll do the twist for your handles. That will be the next step after this. But yeah, once you guys get that thickness, you can play with the shape of your knife too. If you want to try to go for something specific, or maybe like a certain design, this is where you can kind of play with it. You don't want to play with it too much. You want to make sure you still have material there for when we go to grind and everything. But if you want to, like he's doing there, kind of creating more of a curve for his blade, this is where you can do that.
I do think we run out to the truck, grab some water.
Yeah, if you guys have water, feel free. It's a lot of work. Oh, we're about an hour and a half in roughly right now, yeah.
Same place.
Set them on a metal table or cool them off. Whatever's not flammable. Almost with snow.
All the ice.
Ooh, I never heard that one happen before. Yeah, you can try to do the same thing. You try to get it straighter the rest of the way. There you go. See how it's starting to get a little closer? Start from here, slowly go to the tip, and tap a little lighter. Yep. And stop. See how it's getting back to the pedal now? Do this side now, same process. A little bit lighter. And stop. Good. Now this side again. And stop. Good. Well, you're getting close. You have to heat it back up again. Now that it's getting closer, you might even have to take it like this on an angle. You might have to tap that part down. Just a minute. We'll also make everything really straight towards the end of the process too. That looks good, just like that. Yeah. So if you like how the shape looks and you like everything else, then I'll show you how to twist your hand. So once you get the shape you like, you'll actually have to flip your piece around in the forge and put your handle in the forge. Let that heat up and go to twist it. you'll have to bend the blade flat. Yeah.
And I had it before I started soldering.
Right. Well, what happens, since you remember how we had that 5-degree bend?
So that'll go both ways.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So I'll show you what we can do. What we'll have to do is we're going to make the spine flat again. Then we're going to have to curve it to line match the handle. So we'll have to do this. You do it from either way, basically. We just kind of work it up and down like this.
Okay, so it'll still bend that way.
Yeah, but it'll still
Oh,
bend. Yeah. But all you do is you get that back flat, and then
I didn't know if being that wide and that thin, if it would bend that way too.
no, you're
It
good.
still will.
Then when you go to try to match the same arch here,
Right.
you'll have to hold it over the horn,
Right.
and you'll have to probably start up here and then tap it
And
down.
probably to make it perfect, it'll have to be ground anyway.
But you
But
get it close.
I get close.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it'd still bend that way, being that wide and that thin.
Yeah. Once you start getting into something like that's less than 16, then you'll actually see that. But you got a lot of
But yeah, it's already way better. Boo-boo.
yeah. There's lots of ways you can correct things.
Bend it everywhere. Yep, it's gonna be just exactly the kind I want. Rock my butter.
You like how it looks, you can flip your handle around. I'll show you how to twist it.
About an hour on that thing. I got that. And that.
If you make
Trust that I can work it. Yeah, I don't have to cost very much. I don't.
That's it.
When you're grinding on it, grind on it, you're wrong. Let it get pretty much carried right on it.
We're getting closer. So now this is where you'll have to kind of hold it out the angle a little. Kind of like this. You can tap this right here a few times. See how it's starting to get that back center. The blade's crooked again, but this is back center. Then you go up to the blade. And then straighten it out backwards. Yeah, it's a little closer, so you keep going like this. Just back and forth with it. Just like that. That's how you kind of clean it up the rest of the way. That's pretty good, just like that too. So now if you wanted to, if you like how your shape looks, you can also flip your handle around and put it in the corners too.
Yeah, oh, you're good.
When we go to grind,
I was gonna say, how much do I want to shape that back end versus shaping it?
as close as you can. You don't have to get it down to like that 16th of an inch. Because we're going to go through a whole grinding process too. We have to profile, we have apex, we got a hollow, and then we got a sharp.
So with this,
There you go. Yeah, if you like how it's right there, you can push that way. It's pretty close. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, you don't have to worry about that too much. Because when we go to twist it, most of that's going to disappear.
then you just take it and slowly work around this way, you want more on the back side.
Yeah. You still have to try to hit a little more off the end of the anvil like that.
Okay, rather than right on.
Yeah.
Right to be
Yeah, there you go.
here.
That's right. So what will happen is if you're hitting on two spots, you're just compressing it again, which is called upsetting, which is what I did. Which is what you did. There you go.
So now I want to take it and clean this edge up. And do this edge again.
Yeah, not a lot, it'll just be a little bit.
Hey,
There you go. Yep, see how that top part's starting to get flattened
I
out?
think the rest of it, I'm just gonna grind off.
Yeah, whatever you like.
About where we wanna be in it, boss.
Yeah, so what you can do now,
Open that up more.
you could work in this part a little bit more because you see how it's just, if you look on the tip, see how we got about an eighth of an inch here, but this is a little heavier.
Yep.
So if you try to make that match there, then you should be good.
Right.
Then we'll show you, I'll show you how to quench it, then you can cut probably the end or whatever excess material
Yeah,
you
it's
have
gonna
off.
be quite a bit longer, I guess.
And then you can grind the profile, and then we'll start the grinding process for that too. now I'll show you guys, we're going to be using this post vise over here. When we go to twist your handles, I'll help you guys each when we do it. And I'll just give you a brief demo of what you'll do for it. Basically, we're going to heat up the handle portion, like some people already. We're going to clamp it in the vise to wherever the transition is. It'll be different for each of you guys. I'm just going to line it up to where it'll look the best, probably. Then we're going to be using this big wrench here. We're going to grab it right at the top. Now, when we twist, we're either going to go clockwise or counterclockwise. It'll depend on whatever dominant hand you are. If you're right-handed, you go clockwise. If you're left-handed, you go counterclockwise. I wouldn't twist it right here. I'm just going to twist it.
How far down would you
So, with this. Oh, I see. So, I'll grab this one here. Actually. So, this guy, you see where it starts to transition from where the blade is? So, she gets thicker basically. You grab it pretty much right at that point, right at that junction, or just a little above. It'll still, the twist itself is going to have a taper to it, just because we're twisting materials that were forged, so it's not going to be perfectly flat. But that's what you have to do, or what we try to do. We're going to let the handle get a lot hotter than we like the paint, basically. Exactly. Yes, it's thicker, it's going to be harder to use. That's why the hotter it is, the easier. Oh, that's good. I was looking for that earlier. Go ahead, come on over here real quick. Now, make sure we got this set up right. We're going to be grabbing it pretty much right underneath that, all over the cap basically. And then when we twist, we're going to go right in. We'll go clockwise. You'll be standing here, basically. So you grab there, grab over there, hold it just like that. And then we'll twist. I'm trying to remember how well these pipe wrenches work. Yeah. You always want a pipe wrench only grip in one direction. I'm sure most of you probably know. I have dyslexic too, so I always flip up, whichever one it is. Most of the evidence, no. Ready? And we're going to grab a little more. There you go. Switch hands. Keep going. full 300. Yeah, come on over here again real quick. Now, you won't be able to do anything right now. But if you look, you see how I got that little bend right there. All you have to do is get that bend straight, and then you can push that. Yes, but you have to hit it lighter. And because we have it twisted now, it means that you might have to work a little bit more to get it straighter. Oh, I think I brought it over there. Here, you use those. What would you change about this one? Do what now? Sorry, change anything about this? You can throw your handle in the same way now. You can twist it down. Ready to twist yours, sir? Sure. Go and grab that match.
Number 5.
Right-handed or left-handed? Clockwise. Number 4, correct? Oh, no, right. 3, got it. There you go. I'm gonna let the end of it warm up a little bit more. It'll be good.
Good twisters?
Yeah, just say where you put line number 4 down, number 3. I know it's kind of hard to juggle them in there. All you have to do is the same thing. You also have to take a look at.
Yeah.
Try to get it straight up. You can see those. Grab it. Those ones are a little wider. There you go. Alright, nice job. Alright, you are number 4. Let that warm up a little bit more. So come on over here.
Bring it up a little bit.
Right hand or left hand? Right.
Which one was standing up? Which one was standing up?
I think the one on 3.
That one's fine. Yep. Yeah, I know yours got the big curves, but
Oh, yeah.
usually I kind of get a grasp like with people's different designs, but it's harder to do after trying to mess with so many. So grab it just like right at that point.
Other way.
I think it was this way, yeah. Yep. Just a little faster. Now just try to line it up. Keep going. Same thing all they have to do now. If you're probably see that little bend right there. Yep. You gotta do that. No, it's not. You gotta do the boxes. Oh, like a cube twist. You'll have to usually take a saw or some technical grinder and you cut equally spaced marks. But you have to also only go too deep and crack. But I think what they do, they draw center lines
spike. So whatever pi base divided by 2 is, mark the line there, mark the line there, mark the line there, mark the line there. Then when you cut into it, you cut, so you get to those center lines.
Those center lines, so it doesn't get too deep. You only want to go in
A quarter inch maybe, roughly. But yeah, that's all you really want to do. Twist it before you cut that. Then when you twist it, you can only twist a certain amount. Twist too much, it'll get too compact, too crowded. So then it doesn't turn out right. There's a whole bunch of different twists, like pineapple, cube, dragon. There's another one too. I can't think of Rubik's. I think there's another one. Rubik's and cube might be the same thing actually. But there's a bunch of different styles. It's got, so going off the cube, instead of, they cut perfectly perpendicular to the spike. With the dragon, you have to cut it on like a 45-degree angle. So it actually cuts underneath it. And then when you twist it, it looks like there's scales instead of a cube.
really.
Same principle as the cube, just you're just cutting it on an angle. Come on over here. I'll show you how to see. Right-handed or left-handed? Right-handed.
I've listed that stick too.
What's that?
I've listed that stick too.
Yeah.
The fact that I was able to say that twice in a row, that's impressive.
You got it straight. Okay. So, what you can do, I'll show you a little trick real quick. Just to double check everything, I usually do. So I'll grab it from the bottom. I look straight down. Look straight down and see that little bend there in the middle. And in this area, you can get that a little straighter. So once you get that knocked out, then you can take that. Right. But what it is, it's still curved a little. So what you'll have to do is hold that kind of you guys have glasses your hand work?
No.
Oh, you just left that one in the back.
Let's just go to the back and work and get everyone's plan.
Back, okay, good, a little better. So you need to keep going with that more. See how I'm kind of moving it back and forth a little? Just helps make sure that the piece is the same temperature across the twist area. What'll happen sometimes is if you're twisting something that is different temperatures, you'll end up with like a tapered twist. And it won't look the same. Now just line up. Same thing, all I have to do is get back up. Just get straight, get back up. So if you look, see how he's got that little bend right there? Nice, you can get back up. That's why I don't try to tell people not to stress about it being straight too much, because now that we have it twisted, we can make everything straight now.
That's the problem. Because I work with wood, I can't do this.
Yeah.
If it's bent, it's gone. You throw it out, you get a new blade.
Yeah, the one side of the next message.
Yes, that's where I want to
Same watch the shape of the.
Like the shape of it?
Yeah, I think I just. When I grind it, it'll be somewhere in here.
You got it?
Yeah.
You pretty much kind of.
There'll be a little spin over here. And then it comes down to the ground.
Yeah, you can play with it, right? So now, do you like how it looks like?
Yeah.
Go ahead and throw that in the corner, and I'll show you.
I think I'm good. So how do I straighten?
What you'll have to do, remember how I had you holding out the eagle thing before?
Right.
Yeah, you'll have to do the same practice. Keep tapping this area. Now it's a little better. See how that's forcing that back to be centered up? Now, that looks pretty close. What you might be able to do now is
you have to play portion, then you can straight really hit the rest. And to do that, I'll just take it simply there.
Yeah.
But like this, here, that across.
Now, another thing
here,
too,
draw.
you don't want to rely on the anvil being flat because this anvil has a concave base to it if it's not flat. So you'll have to be careful as you do that.
So that's why you're getting the same quantity right across it.
It breaks down.
Yeah, you'll never get cold.
Get nice and fresh air out there.
Yeah, it feels good, man. It's a pretty day outside.
Yeah, I know, 40 degrees, sunny and snowy. So now for the heat treating process, what it is, it's a water quench, just because it's a water hardening steel. You'll have to heat it up a little bit farther or hotter than what it is now, but you'll just move it straight back and forth in the water. You almost have to do it. If you picture like you're cutting butter, you're just kind of moving it back and forth in the water like you're cutting butter. Just don't go side to side. Go side to side and warp it to whatever side.
Don't look side to side, you know, move in and out.
Straight back and forth. You want to keep it submerged the whole time you're doing it.
You just quench it.
Do you know why? No. So just what? Do you guys know what quenching does to the knife? What it's supposed to do?
Locks the molecules in place.
Right. It makes it harder bases. Now the reason it does that is because of a couple things. The first thing is like what you said, you're locking the molecules into a different state. You're changing the molecular structure. You have to change it from a face-centered cubic state to a body-centered cubic state. Yeah, that looks good.
And he's gonna go in there. No.
No?
Yep. Once it gets that bright orange color, then you can go ahead. You just go straight back and forth.
Straight.
Yep, straight back and forth. Good. Keep moving until it stops steaming.
But why water over oil?
Because of the type of steel it is. Some steels are oil hardening, which like 1095, most of the higher carbon steels that you work with, those are oil hardening. These are more of like a medium carbon, so these are water hardening steel. So you guys know what like 10 series steels are? There's an acid first. 10 series, like in this case 1090, or in the example 1095, 10 represents a 10 series steel, 95 represents the amount of carbon that steel has out of a 1% ratio. So 1095 has 0.95% carbon in that steel. Now, there's also, it goes from 1095 and all the way down to 1025. These are like 1030, 1030, 100, so it's a water hardening steel. The lower you get carbon content, the harder or faster you have to quench it.
So the lower number you get in carbon, you go towards
A faster quenching.
what you want oil.
No, water. Oil.
Add that backwards.
Yeah, so you add it back. You want higher carbon, you want oil. Yes. Typically speaking, there are exceptions. There's actually there's a couple high carbon steels that are water hardening, like W1 and W2. And actually, that W represents water hardening.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or you can get into some crazy air hardening steels like A1 or A2 or B1 and B2. And as they get hotter, they get harder. They don't get softer. So a lot of the drop forging tools, like you see with that make the rail spikes, they're all made out of something that is a heat-resistant steel, or like H13. What that means is they can get it bright red, and it'll still be as hard as what it was before. That's when you have to start working in that sort of stuff. So like with H13, you almost have to work it at welding in order for it to open out. Get closer.
Alright. No, I just got straight mine out. And then we punch it this.
So I think I got mine straight now. You have it straight now? So yeah, you can punch it now.
You got a file box?
Now you'll find the file is actually harder than that steel.
So I gotta move it. I still have to move this thing over, don't
No, that looks good. Just like that. Oh, you're saying that little offset right there?
Yeah.
So that's where the twist. If you want to fix that, something you do. Then you can also do the same thing. You can hold this up a little bit and just tap a little bit more in that specific area. That'll do the same
Of course
process.
I did.
What do you think I need to?
Not necessarily. It's totally up to you.
So you can make a bumper so I can cut it off.
Yeah, these 6 happen.
Yeah. That's the worst thing to happen.
It seems like stuff. I can't remember.
And I know it's an obstacle, but it's that twist that's messing with you.
I know.
It looks fairly straight.
Yep.
So now with this one being this way, I want to start.
Yes, so what you'll do, not quite actually, do the opposite. Oh, really? Yep, so grab your hammer. You'll hold it a little bit on an angle, kind of like this. Use the round side. Lightly tap that from there. And slowly go. A little harder.
No, I mean, hey, it's a little bit.
It's closer. Do that one more time.
Handle?
And good.
It's hard enough.
Oh, that's real close. So if you look, see how we're looking down the barrel of it? It's really, really close. Yeah, there's still a little bend. If you look at it, it's going to my left. A little bit. So tap it once. Just once. There. Good. Look at that. Now you're going. See, now you can punch that in like two.
Okay. And I'm at that point then of punching it.
Yes. So that means you just heat it back up and you put it back in the water.
All right.
All good to go?
Yep.
All right, so now, yes, come on over here. Try to get rid. I'll show you. We got a little band.
Punching it straight back and forth.
Yes, not side. Right. You're going to go side to side. It's going to want to bend to whatever side you go. You know how things heat up, they expand, and they cool down, they contract? By going side to side, what happens is you're cooling off one side of the layer. So it's going to curl to that side, it's contracting. But then the other side's still hot, so it's expanding. That's why it works. That's a reason. It's not all reasons. It's a reason.
Well, then you've got the resistance.
From the side of water, yes. Now, look, you see that white gray color right there? That's actually called wood. That's what will be steel when you cut it. So that's like you tell from a visual standpoint, it's harder not to see that color. See what? Oh, yeah, look at it. See that white gray color right there? That's how you know the steel has changed formation. That's how you know it's hard.
The higher the carbon steel, the longer the ultimate, the harder the sharpening.
Yes, yep. Then if you get into stainless steels will hold it in longer because they're tougher, but they're infinitely harder to sharpen because of the rust. Which is why a lot of people don't forge stainless because it's really hard to do. Like, you know, it's really easy to grind. You have to put stainless in to grind. This guy is a little more user-friendly. This is just an 80 grit belt, I think, yeah, 80 grit. If you ever need to change the speed if you want to switch faster, the style, or something else. Really only need to keep it like anything between here and 15. As you're grinding on it, you'll also want to make sure and it's up here too, this little knob. This is just without side to side. Oh, okay, right over here.
You need to get it back up.
Yeah, you want to have it. Or, yes, yep.
So this is where you're talking about.
Look, you can look up there, that's where you can see it. And sometimes you can't see it because there's too much scale on the knife to see it. But in that case, you can't actually look at it. It might be that
Throwing me off.
yeah.
So, that's
So the Damascus should have done that a little bit deeper. A lot of people hype it up more than what it should be, in my opinion. It's not like some super ungodly steel that's gonna kill God. You know, it's just all it is two different types of steels that are welded together to make a pattern. That's what the Damascus is. Now, in order to get the pattern, you have to have something with the high carbon steel to make it quality, and you have to have something with a nickel content in it. That's what that black and silver version. I'll actually show you one that I made. So this one that I made, see, it's got black and then it's got silver. Black and silver. The silver is the nickel element. The black is the carbon steel. That's just when you etch it, that's what happens. That's the color. That's the color. So that's what the matter is.
just a combination of two different steels.
Yeah, it's two different steels that were forge welded together to be made into one homogeneous steel. I should actually say it's still not homogeneous, it's still two different steels, but it's one film.
And the whole point is chasing the strength of one, but the durability of another. Correct?
Yes. Not necessarily, it's more for the pattern.
I was thinking of what they were going to be connoisseurs. Or yeah, that's actually where
Not really. So, the steel they used to make it fun is called mahogany. That's blueberry steel. So, the reason why they thought it was Damascus is because it still has the same pattern as Damascus does. But instead of it being two different types of carbon steels with like a carbon and a nickel alloy, all it is just layers of steel that were folded and folded and folded and folded on top of each other. You'll still get the layering effect if you forge weld enough pieces together, but it just doesn't have the same combination. If you actually, there's a guy on YouTube, if you look up Walter Swirls, he specializes in Japanese style, like old time forging. He will tell you everything about it. He's made mahogany in his backyard, forged it out in a coal or a gas forge, and restacked everything to make it
Yeah, that's the folding of a lot of those. They folded and folded and folded and folded and folded and folded.
Now, what that does, back in the day, you couldn't just go up to a steel supplier and say, hey, I need this type of steel. Back you got whatever they had. So, in order to make it good quality, they forged it and restacked it dozens and dozens and dozens of times. What that does is it takes out all the impurities out of the steel. You have an air bubble, you have a different type of steel that has lower carbon content than the other. You combine them and they neutralize it and kind of combine together. By folding it, folding it, folding it again, you get better and better and better steel. Which is why they folded it so many times. All right, we all said, oh, it's okay for you. Make sure not to shut the door on anybody. Oh, no, take your time. Don't worry about me.
This actually is a little off, and it like it.
Now, when we go to grinding, the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to create our profile. We're not going to try to sharpen everything right away. It's all shaping. Yeah, it's all shaping. There's a big process, not really a big process. There's a multi-step process. If you start jumping ahead, you're not going to be able to do it the way it should be done.
how do we sand down both sides? Get rid of any
We'll actually just do it like this. I had one earlier. right back and forth.
How do you have cell service and I don't?
It's kind of a dead zone out here. There is Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's camera 11.
What is it? We have the exact same service.
My phone's even newer. How is it? Yeah, look, dude, you look here, you see that way here. Yeah, where you bring it over right there. That's how you know it's visual. But yeah, so now you want to think about like what you want your piece to look like. You know, like if you look at it now, there's probably a few bumps that you're seeing on the edge of the spine. Like maybe your tip's not perfectly pointy or whatever. You can think about what you want it to look like now. When you go to profile it, this is where you'll fix all of this, where you'll make it look like the shape that you want. After we profile it, then we have to go through an apex, which means we're going to create a ridge along the edge. That'll be where we actually sharpen it. Then we have to hollow grind it. Hollow grinding it is actually what moves the material. That's why this looks shiny. So it's hollow. Once you get that, you also have to do the other side too. Once you get that hollow round, then you sharpen. That's the very last thing you do. There's a lot of people that don't quite realize how much there is to sharpening something just because they've never had to do it before. So you really have to kind of dig into it, really get started.
You don't just take it to a grinder.
Right. There's geometry, there's different grinds, different style grinds, different thicknesses. You're trying to get like a certain angle, sometimes that's important to people too. Just kind of.
So a tip like this, if I want that to be more of a sharp tip, it's looking to take a lot more out here.
Yep, you just grind it in,
See,
say
that's
like,
exactly what the profile is, what you want.
yep.
And then the other things. This one. That's. That you can just run it with a wire brush, get the wire brush.
You can also too, if you feel like your curves, like your twists are a little sharp, if you take it on the belt, just kind of roll it, it'll get all sharp.
This is the next part because my arms are so cut now. That's nowhere near as tight as it was.
Yeah.
You guys ready for this?
Yep.
Go ahead. Just shape.
Yeah. So, I'll show you guys kind of what I do when I go to grind things. Tips and tricks help to keep you up for yourself. If you're going to clean up your edge, so the part that's going to be sharp, I always like to hold it horizontally, like this. You don't want to have an angle. You want to try to keep it perpendicular to the wheel, if that makes sense. You pretty much want it straight on. If you start to angle it, then you're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing, basically. Then, if you want to clean up your spine, the easiest way I find to do it is to hold it vertically like this. Then you can kind of move it up and down, do whatever you need to do to get it straight. This little block right here is meant so you can keep your fingers away from it, so you don't get it too close to the wheel. This is a dangerous machine, but as long as you be careful, it'll be fine. So that's really all you have to do. As you're grinding on it, you shouldn't have to push super hard. You should be able to just let the belt do the work and the grind to do it. But as you grind on it, it will build up heat because there's a lot of friction in the mixture. So cool it off once in a while too. If you get it too hot, what will happen is it will become soft again. It won't be hard after you punch it. You have to go through the process all over. You got to take a bunch of. As long as you can hold on to it, you're fine. But if you feel like it's starting to get warm to the touch, then I lay it off. But yeah, that's that. Just be careful with what you're doing. And then you get to the shape that you like, and then you move on to the next one. After that, then we'll apex them. If you ever need to shut it off, ready means you can just flip that switch straight down. There's a little service option on the side. Click that down and something happens. Yeah, come on.
I gotta take a little more than that's gonna take.
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
forever on this.
Right there. Case the wire. Oh, it's right there.
There we go.
But usually you want to grind it typically more high currency or more like what we're doing is better to harden. Trying to make things more of a, they call that a trim. That's fine, take your time on that. The drop points are more of a, they kind of have to call for. Just trying to think of it in my mind, like, think about what knife you use, what knife you have, and then you get here and you're like, you have a chain? Definitely different. Forcing metal, metal stuff, before they're actually forcing it. It's a very different kind of like, changing how it resembles playing, how it moves. Yeah. There's a lot of tricks they will take, they want to figure out, how they're going to get it shaped, whatever. They'll take clay, they're starting to round top, they'll roll it, start with a round piece, and then that'll tell you exactly how you have to hammer it in my little gallery.
can't tell you how many times I want to grab something and I just go out and grind it out and grind it, it's still hot.
Turn it on because it's not low and it's not hot.
It's not like it's still hot. So that's you actually like this one here. I think whoever for this one was wrong, I'm not sure what they're doing with that one. That kind of helps you all get your grind off the road. So it's still
I'm not one to argue. I don't see any reason to start now. So, where do you get it from?
every time I get a sort of money shop, oh, it's what do it? And you're like, you can't see what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's why you're supposed to do it.
Yeah. You're getting on my detail now, Ford.
GoPro first.
What's that?
GoPro first. You have to like multiple of them.
You're even getting a little weird. You're even getting a little weird. I'm kind of confident that you're running out of what's going on in that meeting over there. You feel like you made me think. And I don't know if I told him that when I messaged them about going over there, I said I have to leave the session and get a new key. They came to live. Oh, mermaid. Got the big weather, yeah. All these people, many first people ever know. That was wow, it's up for dinner over there. So, let's go on that demo and I can get in over there, it doesn't do me any good either. Is that April 21st? That's the big day. Oh, is that right? Yeah.
The whole thing, kind of, you can if you want to, it might be a little tricky, but I think you might need to take over here. Right. This is like, I think that the feed roller is my next big word. Feed roller. I'm like, which one do I want? Which one do I want? Well, and none of the little ones you buy do. Right, like a little 1x32. Yeah.
Something like that, sitting next to the dog or something, taking out the dog. Yeah, part of material was there. I was like, oh, I don't know if you see it, Matt, but they got one over there. They do have and small folded ones where wrap around, you can up around the rest of the neck, and about that, and like that, yeah, and you can poke pipe with it. Yeah, there's a whole set of things, most pocket out, and the rest of them are sitting over there somewhere, but they go up to The little press cavity, you can make bending stuff, and it's got the one press, and here. I paid $6,000 for his new, I think it came with one set of punches, in 1998. So, but probably one of this iron ones, or like I said, I looked at it 2 or 3 times, and what's that? Yeah, that was that. What do you say within the option? Within the option. I think the one that is, 4x4 screen. Yeah, the other one came with a shot. Yeah. The screen that I recognize it was better. I don't know. I think maybe. I'm just trying to decide how much I really want to play with and how much I want to leave it the way it is. I like the hammer mark. I mean, the hammer mark. I feel like if you grind it all, I mean, you still have that here where you twisted it. You use that. I'll just try feeling off. No. So, I got a room for rent, not Florida. It's like background check, anyone, and reference. Why? Good for one, 3 personal references, 2 business references, and 4, tax, rental. And I'm like, I'm going back to the old way to go, because I've been here for like 15 years now. He's like, ah, right. I'm starting to do something there. He's being pretty cool, but it's like, he just got negotiations with the school, and had one other person that was a student up in school, and he made an agreement with her that she would get him in the first month of the security deposit. And he said she was a little girl, probably 19, 18, 19 years old, and one day she was going to meet, she came back with a boyfriend, and he said that she was dropping out of school, it wasn't him, and it's all off. I didn't get 2 hours. He family wants a lot, he wants rent, you know. So I'm like, well, I mean, as far as the credit goes, I'm going to pay you the whole deal, the whole thing up front. So I think we're going to eliminate credit if you lose it. The only way I'm getting that is, now you said the best person to get. That lying motherfucker. What do you do now? You're going to buy the detector school, you got the kids.
There's the guy that, one of the guys that I worked with, this girl,
Yeah, I would think that was mine. Hey, I'll be library. Hey, I'm going to drop my stuff. This year was not very close to wow. What did he eat? Did he eat the lotto or I don't know. I thought this kind of shit guy did was, I don't know. It could work. It was a program. It was a program. I don't think it's possible for him to do what you're telling him to do. You don't want to do it without him wanting to.
What you'll have to do first is have your throat all the apex you want to do your chest, all of the uphead, all the nerves get created in time. Put down the time. Your lives is 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
This is now what it is a lot more than now when you go to keep some of it, so I got Minnesota, I still see the beat. Once I get to the hollow, then we'll be sharpening it, so it's really just a little bit, it's just very loud.
If you can use the corner of that wheel, kind of hold it almost like that, basically.
Or some of the edge up here.
Oh, chamfer it?
Yeah, so I just chamfer it on both sides, just for a second.
Yeah.
Quick to start. That's what you do it. And then I just gotta put up here a little.
Yeah, I've seen that with that big
Work this.
yeah, it's nice break.
So you take this off. You know, throw it up here and throw it.
Oh, I see that little long one right there. If you take that wheel, just hold it on that same angle, you can take this part all the way flat and that's it. So you just want it a little bit more like that. Once everyone gets the tape me like that, I'll show you what the apex looks like.
Good luck to your neighbor. You'll see the strip of me.
That's why I always talk a lot of things out. How it is here in the all the neighbors, you guys, actually bring clients who walk outside and bring your here. That's how you
The weight starts to get, a lot of people make more plates. You don't even really have to have a that way that's what they penetrate. Having the momentum of the that man just use different skills, they do different scales. Scale is not the same thing. All scale is oxidized metal. So what you're seeing when those guys get those knives that are the kitchen knives, they grind them down. They grind them down. So I'm sure you're coming along. I usually grind all of mine flat. I don't have too many. I don't actually think I've had any. They call it birthday board. You can look through the gallery if you want. I've always ground mine flat. I grind. Just because I usually have hands. I make rope like two, but I usually do that. Very nice. I was about 90% nice. Alright, so everybody got a profile pretty much? Cool. Now, all you have to do for the apex, now it's really hard. So instead of holding it like horizontal like you were before, you want to hold it about a 45-degree angle, somewhere close to that. All you have to do is just do it like this. You see how we're creating just that small bevel on the edge? Now we're doing the same thing on the opposite side. And all you're trying to create is that center ridge. Get a high point. That's really all you're trying to create with this part. What that gives you, it gives you a reference for where we're going to grind to a hollow grind. So that's all you have to do for this part. Okay. Once we do that, then we'll move on to the hollow grind side. That part is a lot harder, so I can help you guys out if you need to, but I'll show you the way back. Let's know you want doing that. I got a sharp spur on the incline. Oh yeah, you can cut those out.
So just wanted to get him. Get him a little bit of it.
There's also too, I don't know if you saw that blue belt that was on here earlier today. That's another kind of polish material like that one. But it's much different. If you want to do more specific areas, I'll show you one. That's what we're using to actually get more grinding items. The fluid and off with the water. We're going to punch a little bit. While the polish is going to work off the water.
one clear on the high point or just the aesthetic, just the level, not that good. So, yeah. I just want to add one. Oh, I think that's the word for aesthetic. Or I want to get
That's what I would do the same thing. I usually take either like a 200 belt or do the same process. And gives it more to it. And then I follow with Scotch brush. And I don't follow. Got it all set. Then after we start, you do that, you really get off the waves and assembling your diet. The cool thing is, all the road actually do the hollow right. That's only there for the right portion of the stack. So later means later on remove a lot of the look at this one. This was the one that I was working earlier. Together, you can run your finger across it. Pretty cool. They come details, but as I got closer to where I wanted it, this one out there in the restaurant, you can actually see them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's actually counting. Yeah, I was a little aggressive about this one. If you look at it, I actually did not really look at it. It just turned out the way I thought it would. I can't tell you how many times I do stuff like this. I do the same thing if I make up something. I'm trying to go for something specific. It never turns out. I always have to just wait and make it work or do something different. I was doing front rear bumpers on a mini truck. In my sketches from the beginning, totally different from the end. Thank God. I'll do that when the customer says, I truck it to run wild with it. Obviously, if I make you a sketch, you're like, that's what I want, right? But once the time I got into it, I'm like, I don't like it. And it completely changed overnight. It's like, I can't get out of the couple of my house photos. You want to be able to make a, you know, like a juggler or something. I personally don't like taking my style. I don't like using it. They don't get hurt. You can't just, you can't get the same degree of certainty that you can with regular knife. And at that point, I should be using a ball saw, or not a ball saw, but something other than a ball saw. But he asked me to make it one, so I did. That's what he could. But it was an accident. He told me he just wanted a regular that's the honey knife about a yay long. Okay. Made a sketch, sent it to him, liked it, made it, sent a progress picture the whole 9 yards. And I get to where I'm just getting ready to put the handle on. I'm glad he did it before I put the handle on. I wouldn't have been able to do it. I never would. But he was like, hey, I know it's not last minute, but you had, adjust it. And I'm like, no, man, I'm kind of risky for the design that I can come up with. And he was like, all right, well, give me your best shot. If you know you can't do it, then I'm not going to follow it. Okay, I'll try it out. I wouldn't be able to get it before I liked it, but I could have had to start that whole thing over. What do you want me to ask? What do you go for that? This one, that one was cool. Usually I'll make a custom piece with it, or I don't make it, but I have another one that I make on before. He'll make some teeth, and I also include a little can of axe wax. Keep it axe wax. That's the same thing as oil, but it's a little bit longer lasting. Looks pretty. I've taken there's a couple times I've used more like a case than a compound. This is a stick. Stick. This is like a tool. Yeah, it's a grader. Right. Or else it would here. You applied it, and it was almost like really, really thick water. And then you take your knife and it was polished. It was really, really nice. It didn't take a lot either. Yeah, like a 200 grit finish to make it look like it was 600. Yeah, a while ago. And it came with the set. You could buy like, I think they had like a 14 and a fine version of it. And if you ran through all three of them, you almost get a mirror finish. Right. That's great. I personally don't like mirror finishes. They look really good.
You like this guy, you keep going. Why don't you do this? Make it like a mirror. Well, it doesn't look like you made it then, does it? Right? Well, it looks like you went down to Walmart and bought it, so we gotta leave a little bit of something. Everybody's walking around home, and that's all it's been, right? Something you can't see, and that's all they got is how to run. Here.
Like I said, this is really
Then the canvas don't always look like you made them.
yeah, right.
That's a good thing.
There's a big difference between taking something like this and taking a saw blade, cutting a knife shape on it, heating it up, and then there's a lot of people like to see the bottom again. Yeah, people just cut the shape, grind it, or whatever. Those are already hard. They don't have to do it.
First, I got a little shop in the set, the nickel, and it got a bunch of file plates. So before they had the teeth out, they weren't pretty good for it. It's like perfect blank.
Yeah, there's a
They
thing.
even got it. Yeah, they got the perfect blank.
Or usually, I think most files are like 1080 or 1075 to 1085.
But it was really good.
1084 is very popular. Super easy to get, pretty cheap to work with too. Really easy.
Oh, that's the first.
You take like a before and after picture of the black people. Sometimes you end up with some similarities, but try to go a little bit more. See how there's a little flat spot right there? Try to make it look like that. this on, I'll kind of grab them with practice pieces real quick. So for this next part, what you're doing essentially is you're removing all the extra material that's on the side of your blade to get to that apex that we created. Does that kind of make sense? What you're doing is you're working your way down until you get to the apex. Once you get to the apex, you can stop on that side, you can go to the other side. Now, in order to do that, you pretty much have to hold it pretty much tangent to the wheel. You almost want it, you want it to be able to look down it and see where the belt's at. But all you're going to do, I'll turn this on and just show you kind of what it looks like. All you're going to do when you approach it, you kind of want to let it dig in. And then you'll slowly start working your way over to the tip. As you work your way over to the tip, you have to use lighter pressure. You almost want to let it fall off just like that. If you push too hard, it's going to snap forward. And what that'll do is that'll cause the tip to start, so you don't grind the tip away, maybe. That kind of makes sense. So when you do it, you've got to be kind of patient with it. You don't have to push, you will have to be firm with it. You can't let it kind of bounce around. You got to make sure you're holding it firm. You have to make sure you're going side to side. Try not to go like 50 daisy or whatever. Just try to keep it parallel with it back and forth. As best you can. So yeah. Now another thing real quick too, if you look, you see this little line that I made right here when I started? This is called a plunge line. What you'll do when you start yours, you're going to pick a spot, you're going to stick to the base. That's where you'll start every time you go to a grind out. Now, the best way to do that is if you take the edge of the wheel, you can line that up right when you get to the base. So, as best as you can, just try to make sure you're always starting in that same spot. That's what's fun. I put this over just a bit too. Yep, got it. Lighter pressure. Good, that was good. Now take a look at it. See that? That's what we're starting. Yep. Now you just have to try to follow it as best as you can. Now another thing that can help too, you move this block to the vertical, and it gives you better balance. Keep trying it just like that. Good. Make sure and pull it off. Yep, so you're going to keep doing that until you start to see this line get to your apex. Yeah, that makes sense. Once you get to your apex, then you can go to the outside. Got it. Okay. I always forget what type of media that is. Really well. Take a little bird off. Yeah, rubber. Rubber. No. I didn't deal with that. Type of, almost like a stone, but it's more like a fabric. It might be, sometimes it'll spray the stone. No, fragment. Oh, hey, I know it's going to be a funny one.